war and of exiles. And this is a banner in recognition of them. So, and the 500 years of resistance of African people against colonialism, white supremacy, and European domination. So you see here, beginning on the right-hand corner, begins with the struggle in Africa, the continent of Africa, with Queen Nzinga of Angola. We see Ya Asantewaa of Ghana, who resisted the British. We see Nanny of Jamaica, who resisted and represented the Maroons, carrying that 500-year struggle across, inclusive of those who are currently incarcerated, as well as those who have been released and continue to struggle on the street, up until the far left end in green, representing today, Carl Dix, representing the anti-war, anti-draft campaigns that swept across the country. He represents the Vietnam War, but we have people who are enlisted who resisted in World War I and World War II. And of course, Sister Karima Al-Amin represents those who are currently incarcerated and the impact that it has on our community and our families. So if you all would take a couple minutes and say something about that.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Carl Dix. Look, I refused to go to Vietnam back in 1970. I did that because I was able to figure out, not all by myself, there was a lot of other people struggling to help clear this up, that as a black man I had no business going 10,000 miles away to fight against people who were trying to free themselves. You know, so I refused to go. I ended up in Leavenworth Military Base. Since then, I dug into where do things like the oppression of black people, the imperialist wars come from, and it's built into the nature and fabric of the system, and that has led me to become a revolutionary and a representative of the Revolutionary Communist Party. Because look, things don't have to be this way. We see horrors all around the world, but we got to stand up and stop them. And I always, wherever I go, say to people, revolution, nothing less is what's needed, and getting free is not a spectator sport. It requires your involvement, yes, your participation, and your support. And right now, that approach of going for revolution, nothing less, has led me to be part of calling for Tuesday, April 14th as a national shutdown day to stop the way that police get away with murder. You know, I'm doing it because I'm a revolutionary, and I think this is what we need to do to build a movement for revolution, to get rid of all of this stuff. Wherever you stand, do you think we need to stop the police from getting away with murdering black and Latino people and other oppressed people? And if you're with that, you need to get involved in this. Getting free is not a spectator sport. It requires your participation. I have cards for it, stickers for it, other material. And if you want to dig into the question of revolution, I got a card on a film, Revolution and Religion, that is premiering March 28th, a dialogue between Baba Bacon, the leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party, and Cornel West. So see me afterward, get material, and get involved. Getting free is not a spectator sport. Get involved.
Okay, and I'm Karima Al-Amin. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I am the wife of Imam Jamil Al-Amin, formerly H. Rap Brown, who took over as chairman of SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, in May 1967, after the reign of Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. So the movement did not stop in 1965. SNCC became not only civil rights, but a human rights organization, advocating for the freedom of Nelson Mandela, which was not popularized until later on. I represent not only him, but I represent the other political prisoners who, after 1965, became targets of COINTELPRO, which was a program instituted by the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, to neutralize, assassinate, discredit those who were in the movement. So when you see all of the political prisoners, what we call prisoners of war, my husband says he's a prisoner at war, then I represent them, and I want you to become aware of the plight and what they have gone through. There are brothers and sisters who have been incarcerated for 40-something years. And when they come out, they're coming out with conditions, medical conditions that have been ignored by the prison system here in this country. And when they are released, compassionate release, they're dying within days of their release. So we have a lot of work to do. We continue to do the work, and we continue to represent those who do not have a voice, but we can speak for them. So I encourage you to read up on some of these cases and some of the people that you see on the banner.
My name is Efia Nwangaza. I'm a former SNCC worker, and what I've been doing over the past 5 years on behalf of political prisoners is a campaign which I've dubbed to put and keep U.S. political prisoners on the global human rights agenda. And as a result of that, we have been able to, at each time that the United States has been reviewed for its UN treaty compliance, we have been able to raise the issue of political prisoners. As a result of that, we have succeeded in forcing the United States to stop denying that it holds political prisoners, to entertain the list of political prisoners, especially COINTELPRO civil rights era political prisoners. We have seen radical changes in the conditions impacting them. Indeed, we have seen changes in the number and the, not only the number of release, but in the treatment of people. Was a record release of 15 people in the year 2014. We believe that if we can build a movement on the ground in the United States that meets the pressure that it is receiving internationally, that even more people will be released, and that the demand that the prisoners are making for the establishment of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to resolve all issues from the civil rights era will go into effect. So I have a handout which I will be distributing to give you further information and contact information for me. But we know that the United States government responds to international pressure and any threat to its mythological contention that it is the gold standard for human rights, and to the extent that we can discount and discredit that is the extent to which we bring our people home. Thank you.